and welcome back to Wholesome ASMR. My name is Matt, and today we have a very special guest who has returned to the channel, Arjun.
Hey guys, I'm back and I'm very excited to make my second ever appearance on this channel. Sorry, it's been a very long day with my project, so my brain isn't working right, but I'll try my hardest to provide you with a good experience for the rest of the video.
Awesome, we're excited. So, Arjun was the second ever guest we had on the channel, behind Dan, and don't worry, we're trying to get Dan back on the channel. He's just not as accessible as he goes to a different school than us. But we had a free weekend, and we thought that it'd be a great opportunity to bring Arjun back on the channel. Simon is currently away in Utah for a creator camp, so I'm like, I kind of need a buddy to record with, and Arjun had a lot of positive feedback. You guys seem to really like him. He's kind of a natural at ASMR, and I think you really enjoy it too, right?
I really had a lot of fun doing it the first time, and I appreciate all of the positive support in the comments, so I'm back.
Yeah, I think the first video we did reacting to Jared Goff highlights. So, for those of you who don't know, Arjun's a very big Detroit Lions fan, just Detroit sports fan in general. So, do you want to talk about the Lions' upcoming season? I think it's looking pretty exciting, you know?
Yeah, we made a lot of really good moves in the off season, and I think we're predicted to win the NFC North this year, so it's looking good. But let's talk about football or soccer. I'm wearing a Man City jersey right now, and they're a lot better than my friend Matt's team over here. So, I think my team's a lot better. He can comment, on if he agrees with that or not.
Yeah, so Arjun is a Man City fan, while Simon and I are Manchester United fans, the real team in Manchester. Man City, as of recent, has been the more dominant team, so they're kind of a bandwagon team. They don't really have any history, no class with the team, so he's kind of a bandwagon fan for being a Manchester City fan. So if I had to pick a team, I would definitely go for the more historic, the more famous, the more reputable Manchester United.
When I was in London with my friend Maura over the past for spring break, we were in London, like I said. We went to a soccer game, and there were a lot more Man City fans than there were Man United fans that we saw on the street. So all I'm saying is that, in my personal experience, Man City is a way better team, but that's just me.
Well, you're also in Manchester when there is a Manchester City game going on, and you're probably more on the city side of Manchester. I think overall Manchester is definitely more red than blue, but
We can leave it at that. We can agree to disagree.
fair enough. I don't think either of us are gonna budge on our stance. But yeah, so you said you went to London over spring break. How was that?
Yeah, it was a really fun trip. It was me and my friend Maura. We went to London. We we did a lot of fun activities. Went to a lot of bars. We went to a lot of good restaurants. There was a tea place that was very expensive, but it was still one of the experiences you have to do when you're in London, when you're over there. So overall, it was a really good experience. We went for about a week, and you were in Tennessee for your spring break, right? How did that go?
Yeah, I was in Tennessee. It was great. We went to the Smoky Mountains. It was part of a camping club, which is a club that Simon and I have started this year. We actually assigned Arjun to the role of being the spring break coordinator. So, he contributed somewhat, we'll say.
All I did was I only made a presentation, and that presentation was revised numerous times. So in the end, I didn't really do that much. But I appreciate all of the positive feedback for my minimal amount of work I did.
Yeah. We kind of just assigned Arjun a role. I mean, he was like, I want to do something. We're like, oh, you're gonna do this. So it's not really his fault or anything. And I actually had a good time planning it. But the trip overall was a success. I know Simon and I were planning to do like a trip recap. I took the camera when we were there. We were planning on doing like a video with the whole crew there, but we never got around to it. But I was recording some of our hikes, and we were hoping to do a voiceover, but we probably won't do that for the next like month or so because school's kind of ramping up as finals approach. And that just takes a little bit more like editing in time because we gotta pull like all the footage and put it together. But we will get a recap video done.
Yeah, let's talk more about that. So you had an essay due today with Zach, Quapis, and Basil. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is it Brendan Quapis and Zach Piper and Basil? Those are your teammates?
Yeah, those are my 3 teammates. Yeah. We have so for engineering, kind of the big hurrah at the end of your senior year is you have a design expo where you have it's called your senior capstone, and it's a big project that lasts a semester, and you're kind of assigned it. So we're working with this one company in order to try to reduce vibrations that this one module is experiencing. And so I'm working with 3 great partners who all put in a lot of work, and we're kind of nearing the end of our project. But we had a big report due today. Ended up being a 74-page report, so it took a little bit of time. But once you get something like that done, it feels really good, which is kind of why I wanted to come film here today.
Yeah. For my capstone project, I'm also a senior. I'm a computer engineer, so our final project is designing a processor that you find in your computer from scratch. So I'm working with my friends Miles and Jim. Usually we're very productive doing our project, but today all we did was end up watching videos of monkeys. So we didn't really do much. It was just we were really bored and we wanted to loosen up and have a good time rather than focusing on work. So we just took a break day and we just watched funny videos of animals, and that was really fun.
And sometimes you need that. You kind of go into a day thinking you're going to be productive, but your body kind of tells you what you need, and sometimes it's good to relax and have a little fun, just so long as you end up getting the work done. And that's kind of one of the things that I think us as a group have learned over the course of the semester is there are days that you really just don't want to do any work, and it's better to almost take the day off and recharge than force yourself to do work that's not 100% of your potential, because then you're probably going to have to go back and redo it if you're not putting your 100% into it. So it's just finding that balance and understanding that going 100% all the time is not necessarily the best option.
No, I agree with that. It's definitely very useful and important to take the time to recharge your brain and to reset, because spending a whole day with 100% of your effort is better than half a day or 3/4 of a day only doing 60 or 70% effort, in my opinion. But let's look on to the future. We have the Michigan spring game tomorrow that we both plan on going to. We're excited for that.
Yeah, look at you with these transitions. I'm telling you, he's a natural rambler. You just taking the conversation from one part to the next. But yeah, I am very excited. For those of you who know, which I assume any of you who have been watching the channel for a long time, you guys know, I'm a huge Michigan football fan. Arjun's also a big Michigan fan.
He's bigger than me. I'm mainly a Lions fan, but he's one of the biggest Michigan fans I've ever known, so
yeah, I appreciate it, but I'd say we're both pretty big Michigan fans. We both go to U of M, and we're kind of coming off a pretty momentous season. We went 12-0 in the regular season last year, 13-0 after the Big Ten championship, and we made the college football playoff. Granted, we had a disappointing outcome against TCU, but overall it was a fantastic game, and we returned a lot of production, especially on the offensive side of the ball, which is really exciting. We keep our quarterback, both of our star running backs, almost all of our receivers, and so I think there's a lot to look forward to this upcoming year. And yeah, we have the spring game tomorrow at 2, just to sort of see how the team's looking. So Arjun and I are gonna go. Also our friend Scott, our friend Chase, they're gonna be in attendance too. But I think what I'm more looking forward to, aside from watching the team, is just being back in the big house and watching some football, because it truly is a special place.
Yeah, I agree, and then I look forward to having a lot of fun because we haven't been in the big house for, what was it, like 3 or 4 months?
Like November, yeah.
Yeah, like November, and it's one of the most special things at Michigan, and this will be our last time watching, a football in a stadium as students.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot different once we graduate. So it's gonna be, kind of the last time we're gonna watch football there.
Yeah, I kind of just came to that realization that this is because I thought the Illinois game, which granted it's the last actual Michigan football game I ever would watch in the stadium as a student, but this is actually the last football I'm gonna watch in the stadium as a student at the University of Michigan before I graduate in April. So, I mean, it's nice to have another go at it, but it's pretty bittersweet because it's fun. Being a student's fun. I think one plan I have is to still go into the. You can buy student tickets, and so I think for the next year or two, because I still have friends who are at the university, so I think I'll join the student section for a couple more years. But it'll never be the same, I am looking forward to tailgates post college though, because tailgates in college are fun and all, but honestly, I think adult tailgates are better because they're a little more laid back. They have better food, and usually they have a TV or something on where you can watch football games.
And the thing is, too, when you're a college student, many students, they go to the game and they go right back home and they start doing homework and they start studying for an exam. But when you're an adult, you can kind of separate your work time and then your free time. So when you're an adult, you can go to the Michigan game and you can spend the whole day watching other games, and the whole Sunday you can spend watching other sports, and you can go right back to work on Monday. So there really isn't much work that you have to put in during the weekend like you do as a college student.
Yeah, I think I've always had a bittersweet relationship with Sunday, especially the NFL, because on one hand I'd like to sit down and watch football all day, but on the other hand, I know that I always have homework or something that is coming up in the next week due to school, and it's kind of an expectation when you're in school that you're doing some work or homework over the weekend, but once you get out of school and you have a job full time, you really don't have that expectation to do any of that over the weekend. And so I think Sundays will become a lot more enjoyable because it's less of the I have to do work today day, and more of the final day of the weekend day.
My methodology throughout high school and college actually, was to work harder during the weekdays so I could spend the whole weekend watching football and hanging with my friends. And that's really served me well because I can have those 2 days to recharge, like you mentioned earlier, and all my work gets done quicker, so I'm not really stressing over the weekend.
Yeah, I've gotten better at that. High school though was bad. High school I would almost do all of my homework on Sunday, so I can't say that I had the same weekly productivity that Arjun had. So props to you for that. Yeah, respect.
I'm not that smart of a person. I just work hard. I think that's one of the main things is, even if you were not gifted with all the natural abilities. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit deep and philosophical, but
welcome that year.
But I'm saying, even if you're not naturally gifted, you can always work into getting those same results. So I've been able to achieve pretty good grades at Michigan Engineering without being the smartest one in my class necessarily.
Yeah, I think hard and good work ethic is more important than just natural ability and natural capability, because it shows that you are able to stand the testament of hardship and time, and you're consistent, and you have the dedication and passion and work rate to go the extra mile when someone who everything came naturally might crumble a little bit when they face a little bit of adversity or face a little bit of friction. So yeah, I think that's an important skill to have, and one thing I hope to continue to do post college is continue to develop my education, always try to learn something new, whether it's a new skill, a new bit of information, something that could serve me down the line. I do want to continue to work on stuff outside of work, have side ventures. That's kind of why I started this channel with Simon, is we wanted something that we could work on together. We also mentioned that we are working on an earbuds company that's still in production. It's been going a little slower than expected, but hopefully we're ramping that up in the next few weeks, which is really exciting. But yeah, little things like that kind of keep you almost youthful in a way, because it's always something that you're working towards and something you have looking forward to. And it's really hard to get complacent when you're in a spot like that.
I agree. I think it's more so than natural talent.
Yeah. Um, Not to get the conversation off topic, even though this is completely unrelated, but aside from that hideous jersey that you're wearing, I noticed the blanket that you have draped around your shoulders.
Yeah.
It looks pretty nice.
Right now I'm actually sweating because this is a really high quality blanket. It's, it can keep you warm when you get like very cold in the winter, and it's suitable for just chilling on the sofa, or you can go to bed with it if you want. It really depends what you want to do with it, but it has some really nice logos as you can see on here. And is this being sold on the website, or is this being sold? Is it just a concept blanket?
Yeah, I think you can get this blanket at wholesomeasmr.com along with this sweatshirt that I'm wearing. It has the cute sleeping panda, which is kind of the logo that we've been using just because, pandas, they kind of like to relax, sleep over.
And who doesn't like pandas, if I'm being honest? Everyone likes pandas.
Everyone likes pandas, yeah. So, I don't know. I think the blanket is what I'm most proud of. It's really high quality, and I think that anyone can kind of snuggle up with it. It's not too heavy, so you're not going to get too hot. You can kind of take it anywhere, but it's going to keep you warm. Another thing we have here is we have this candle. And I don't remember what scent this is. We have a wide variety, but Arjun, I want your honest opinion, okay?
Okay, I've never smelled this. This is a disclaimer. I've never smelled this candle.
Like, he could easily say he hates it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I personally like the smell, but
this is my first time smelling it and give my honest opinion. Never ever smelled this before. It smells, in my opinion, very, what do you say, lemony, kind of?
I think there's a little bit of a citrus.
Yeah, a little bit of a citrus. I mean, I really like it. It's not overbearing. It's not too strong. It's not gonna, stink up your house or give you a headache. But also, it has a distinct smell, so you're gonna smell something.
Yeah, kind of a subtle background scent.
Yeah, it's like a background.
This might be our like a fresh spring breeze or scent or whatever, but
yeah, it's just kind of in the background. It's like my comparison is like if smooth jazz was a candle, this would be the smooth jazz. It's not gonna be loud. It's not gonna be like it's not like a classical music. It's kind of like it sounds good. It's good in the back, and it's not gonna give you a headache.
I might have to add that to the product description on the website. If smooth jazz was in a candle, that's
You're welcome. I'll charge $2 per candle.
chill. You're gonna rob us dry. Oh my gosh! But yeah, it's pretty exciting to have this new merch. But that was kind of a shameless plug. We'll kind of get back on track to the conversation. We have about 4 weeks before we graduate. Is there anything that you, in particular, want to do before you graduate? You have like a bucket list or checklist that you want to knock off?
I think before the semester started, I'm a big fan of going to different restaurants or bars, and I've been able to experience the majority of the bars in Ann Arbor. There are a few that I want to go to, but I think I got most of them under my belt. But I think for the rest of the semester, other than working on this project, I just want to spend time with my friends, because after these next 4 weeks, it's gonna be a lot harder to keep in contact if people move away. So just being in the company of my friends and enjoying this last moment everyone's together is, I think, very important in my opinion.
Yeah, that's where it's kind of bittersweet with the end of college, because everyone's moving on to bigger things. Everyone's excited, but this is a time of your life where you're surrounded by pretty much like everyone around you is your same age, and all of your friends are within a walking distance from one another, and that's kind of special because you're able to see them pretty much on a very frequent occasion, weekly, and post-graduation you're not going to see them as much, but I mean that's part of the process, and you'll make new friends along the way. And we had a conversation in the car about like hoping to maintain friendships even with people who move away and are long distance, and I think that's something that is like important to focus on, but not stress too much over, because you don't want to put an unnecessary amount of weight into a friendship that is not putting weight back into it. So like learning to make new friends, which Arjun is a very friendly and charismatic person, so he has no issue with that. just like looking to always look forward to like appreciate the past, but not dwell on what's different, and appreciate what's in front of you right now, and stay optimistic and look forward to things in the future, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think whenever you're kind of entering a new point in life, whether it's, you know, middle school to high school or high school to college, and in this case, I think the most drastic is, you know, college, and to, you know, outside of that, whatever you do, if you're working or even post-grad is different because everyone's still moving away around you. So I think all these steps, you go in with a lot of uncertainty and nervousness, but eventually it all settles out. So I think if you just give it enough time, then you know, everything will settle out in you know, whether it's a year or 2 years. But if you think back 5 years ago, you know, going into high school or college, you were very nervous, and now it's okay. So I think eventually everything's gonna work out, and it's just a matter of, you know, trusting your plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary, but everyone does it, and everyone's turned out fine. So it's gonna be good for us. But yeah, it's important to recognize the change, and that allows us to really appreciate the moment that we're in right now, and hopefully that we can, you know, make the most out of these next 4 weeks, because they're gonna fly by. Like, felt like just yesterday, my friend Bailey was saying 82 days till graduation. We gotta make the most of this, and now we're approaching like 20. That's wild.
Yeah, if you go back when I was a freshman, I was not expecting this to go by this quick, and I was like, oh, 4 more years, like, this is gonna be kind of a pain. But now looking back, I wish I had those 4 years back, because I had fun during, you know, all of them, and, you know, regardless of the amount of schoolwork I've had or anything, just like being around my friends and like doing things that I like with these people. You know, I can't really have that ever again, because everyone's gonna be at different spots. So I mean, it's, if people are still in college or anything like that, I would just say, like, to cherish your time, because it goes by very quick.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know, I think this has been a pretty good video so far. I think it was good catching up. We had a much deeper conversation this time than opposed to watching Jared Goff highlights. Not that that's not entertaining, because I think it very much is, but I think it's also nice to have a different balance and kind of go into these conversations, because you can get, you know, really unique perspectives from different people, like you included, and you know, you talk to people who are in a similar position to you, but they can possibly give you a different outlook on what you're going through or what you are going to be going through, and yeah, that's really exciting. So if any of you guys have specific questions for Arjun or us, or just like sort of the process of something that could be relatable to either of us, whether it's college or, you know, getting that like first big job, or, you know, high school, or anything we possibly have done, or like travel experience. Arjun just went to London. I've been to London briefly. I've also been to like Italy and other parts of Europe. Just ask, and you know, we'd be happy to talk about all this, because you know, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great time being on here, like always. So if anything, just reach out to these guys, and then they'll put me in contact. So yeah, thanks for welcoming me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
You'll be back soon. I can guarantee it.
If they like me, if they don't like me, then I won't be back.
Leave a comment saying we want Arjun back if you're still watching. Alright, bye guys.